basics, a few IT basics that are good for either the standard user or just someone that's trying to understand IT in general. And so these basics will help you along the way. The first thing we are going to do is we're going to cover IPConfig and IPConfig all. To do this, we could either use PowerShell or the command prompt. We won't be covering PowerShell today. We'll do that in another video, so we will use the command prompt. So there's two ways that you can get to it. You could right-click Start and go to Run, type in CMD, or you can just type in CMD there, and you have the command prompt, which you can run as an admin or just run as a standard user. Alright, I'm just going to select it from here, and now we have the command prompt. So if we were to type in IPconfig, you will see that we get an IP version 4 address. Alright, and so for IP version 4, just so that everyone understands, you have this 10.1.0.4. These are 4 octets. Each octet is 8 bits to give a total of 32 bits. And the subnet mask, which we'll get into this later on within other videos, the difference between the subnet mask we have here is going to be 255.255.255.0, and the default gateway, which is the router, usually the router, 10.1.0.1. And so if you were to call into your internet service provider, or if you were just getting general assistance, they may ask you for your IP address, or kind of confirm that information from you if needed. This is where you would go. It's just the IPconfig, and you will be fine. Alright, now if we do an IPconfig /all, you will see that you get a little bit more information, right? You get the IP version 4 again, you get the subnet mask, but you also get DHCP information. And so you have your DHCP server, and DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. And what happens with the DHCP server, basically the workstation, computer comes online, and then there's a server that's handing out IP addresses. So once this workstation is booted up, an IP address is handed to it from this server. This server gives it the IP version 4 address, the subnet mask, the default gateway, the DNS information. The DH server provides that information to it. Alright? So the next thing that we're going to do, now that you know how to find your IP address, congratulations, we are going to understand the host name. And so I'm going to do a CLS here to clear all that, and I'm going to type host name. And so right here you see that my host name is vmtest21. By default, when you have your workstation, you may see a big name like win-2 or something long. That's by default from Microsoft, but it is important to change it and can be helpful, especially when you're maybe getting to that point where you're able to log into your router and take a look at what's connecting. It's easier to track the workstations. All right. Another thing that I want to do with the host name is I want to show you how to change it. I know this is a lot taken in, especially if you're just starting out, but it's helpful to know. Alright, so if you right click Start here and you go to System. Alright, and so right here in System, you can rename this PC. So if we click Rename, you can name it here, right? And there's also another way to rename this PC and also add a description to it. All right. So right here, I clicked on Advanced Settings. If I clicked on Computer Name, you now see the full computer name and you see the description. So you could add a description here, and you can always change the computer name this way. And so if you click Change, right, and if I were to change this, what's going to happen is it will reboot. It will prompt me to restart, and then after I completely reboot, it will change. And so I'll do this. I'll change the name, and then it's going to prompt me to reboot, but I won't reboot at this point. So I'm going to add an X there. Click OK, and then you see that it prompts me to reboot. I'm going to restart later. Just as simple as that. And so remember, you can rename it this way, right? And I'll do that one more time. Right click, System, and then you can choose Rename. I've already renamed it, so it's pending changes. Or you can go to Advanced System Settings, Computer Name, and then go from there. All right. The next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go back to the command prompt. I already have it open, and I'm going to type in WinVer. So WinVer gives you the build version for the Windows 10. Of course, for the brand new users or those that are interested, sure, it's Windows 10, but there are different versions. With the different versions and service packs and updates, there are new features added as well. All right. Last and not least, let's do a ping. Just very, very simple, very, very basic. Let's ping google.com. As you can see, when you ping Google and you get a reply, right? And so if you're getting that reply, that can confirm, hey, you can reach Google, or it can confirm your connectivity. All right. So this was just a little short video on some basics to be covered. We'll continue along. There'll be other videos, additional videos covering the basics as well. All right. Hope you enjoy. Be sure to like and subscribe. And remember, IT over everything.